The Lord be with you.
and with your spirit.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew.
Glory to you, O Lord.
When Jesus came to the territory of the Gadarenes, two demoniacs who were coming from the tombs met him, and they were so savage that no one could travel by that road. They cried out, "What have you to do with us, Son of God? Have you come here to torment us before the appointed time?" Some distance away, a herd of many swine was feeding. The demons pleaded with him, "If you drive us out, send us into the herd of swine." And he said to them, "Go then." They came out and entered the swine, and the whole herd rushed down the steep bank into the sea, where they drowned. The swineherds ran away, and when they came to the town, they reported everything, including what had happened to the demoniacs. Thereupon the whole town came out to meet Jesus, and when they saw him, they begged him to leave their district. The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ. Please be seated.
The two readings are interconnected. The first one is a story about Sarah and how she treated Hagar. Pareho po silang merong anak. And then out of envy, si Sarah ay nanay ni Isaac. And then out of envy na baka makuha ni Ismael, yung anak ni Hagar, yung affection, yung inheritance ni Isaac, she asked Abraham to drive out Hagar out of the house. And this story again tells us how cruel, maaring maging cruel yung tao, and it also shows us the depth of the mercy ng Diyos. When it comes to man, to human beings, sometimes we can really be cruel. No? Out of envy, Sarah drove out Hagar out of the house, and then to wander out into the field. Out of insecurity, out of fear, we can be that, merciless. But in God, there is mercy. So when Hagar was already roaming into the field with the child Ismael, she could not bear to see the child being hungry, thirsty, and then about to die. And the child cried, and the cry of the child was heard by the Lord, by Yahweh. And because of that cry, Yahweh assured Hagar that even Ismael will have a portion in his kingdom. Kita niyo po, the mercy of God is boundless. It is inclusive. No? Pero minsan yung tayo, we can be very, very cruel. Sa lingwahe ng mga kabataan ngayon, harsh. We can really be harsh, no? At times, lalong-lalo na kapag yung mga interest natin ang nalalagay sa tinitingnan natin na peligro. But with God, mercy abounds. Sa Ebanghelyo na binasa natin, again, it's a story of the demoniacs, of people, a couple of persons possessed, no? And then when the possessed person encountered Jesus, they recognized him. And in fact, the demons said, "What are you going to do with us, Son of God?" They recognized him. So even the demons recognized him. So when they saw that the Lord would be doing something to drive them out, they pleaded, no? Ang ganda po ng kwento, sapagkat even the demons recognized God, no? And then even the demons pleaded, no? And sometimes we human beings would forget to recognize God in our midst, especially in our brothers. And sometimes, especially kapag may pinagdadaanan tayo mga mahihirap na mga pagsubok sa ating buhay, we fail to recognize God in our lives. That's why sometimes we even blame Him. There is no God. No, why am I going through this? So in the gospel, even the demons recognized the Son of God, and even the demons know how to plead with God. So if you're going to drive us according to the demons, then put us into that swine. And then the Lord said, go then. So they went to the swine, and then the herd of swine went into the water, and then they drowned. No? And then they drowned. Ang ganda po ng kwento sapagkat it tells us that not only that the power of God to drive out the demons in us, but also it reminds us that in our difficult moments, there is a need for us to recognize the presence of God and then to know how to plead, to recognize also our capability to ask, our position in life, to ask, to plead to God. At ito pa yung magandang balita, na kahit gaano kalaki ang demonyo na nakaharap natin, kahit gaano kalaki ng mga pinagdadaanan natin, mga challenges and then problems, kahit na ano yung mga binubuhat-buhat natin, kahit na ano yung nakakaposes sa atin, God has the power to drive them out. Kaya hopefully, yung kwento nung ni Sarah and then ni Hagar, it was hopeful because we see a God who is merciful. And in the gospel that we read, it is again hopeful because even kahit na gaano kalaki yung pinagdadaanan natin, kahit na gaano kalaki ang nakakaposes sa atin, it's hopeful that our God has the power to drive out the demons sa buhay natin. But what is important, my dear friends, in the gospel is that we recognize that there is a God who is even more powerful than what we are going through. And more important, another important thing rather, is to recognize ano ba yung mga demonyo na hinaharap natin? Ano ba yung mga dinadala nating mga pagsubok? In other words, ano yung nagpo-possess sa atin that prevents us from recognizing the God sa buhay natin? As we continue with the Mass, pag nilay-nilayan po natin, reflection dito sa pagpunta ninyo sa Minor Basilica of Our Lady of the Rosary of Manaoag, I know you have your own prayers. I know you have your own hinihiling. I know you have your own panata. I know you have your own iniaangat kay Apo Bakit na sana ay maiangat din niya sa kanyang bugtong na anak. I know you have that. We all have that. That's the reason why you are here. But more importantly, it's also important to us to ask the question, what prevents us from recognizing the God the God in our lives, even in difficult moments? Because when we are prevented to do that, then we have demons that doesn't allow us to recognize God.